Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and the pitfuturestrading.com coming to you this Thursday afternoon, March 26th. Looking at the market profile of the SPY TF here on Window Trader. What a day. Once again, the bulls have a very, very good day and absolutely explode in the last 10 minutes. Very interesting. M period is always unpredictable, but in these markets, these last almost 2 months or whatever it is, it's been really crazy. So if you don't have to trade it, I won't. I didn't trade it today at all. Had a very good day. Now, even with this, I'm going to say we had a P shape. It was a textbook P shape for short covering today. We got above and took out last week's high, so we stopped the one-time framing down, and something very interesting to talk about when we look at the charts. We had a afternoon pullback low. We did have a chance for a trend day up. We had two sets of single prints that got filled. So fading the highs was some decent opportunities, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then M period did its own thing, just like it did yesterday. So it's its own special breed. I stay away from it if I don't have to trade it. And that's I think a good bit of advice. Now, I did say in A period today we're going to get tremendous chop, and I would not do anything in it. Well, I did, and I'm going to tell you why. So A period opened up and basically shot right up and left incredibly poor structure on the way down. I mean, there were gaps all over. So I took a quick put play and came in like 30. I made 30 cents or so on the option. The stock came in, I don't know what it came in, but it came in pretty good, like $1 or so real quick. So that's why I took that trade. I would not have taken it otherwise. But when you see something like that, when it just starts, whether it's up or down, shooting up, and it's leaving price points with absolutely no volume in it, the odds of it coming back at least to fill that real quick are good. And that's why I took that trade. C period. We started one-time framing up in B. C period had inside bar, but we were one-time framing when we came back down, took a long, took it back up. That was a nice trade. Did the same thing in D. We were one-time framing up. Right now, all I was looking for is longs. Value ended higher on the day. We're in 20-somewhat tick increments. It looks overlapping high, but it's higher on the day. At the time, we were probably overlapping the high, but still, that's good enough for me. I did another long play in D period. Two reasons I did it. We're one-time framing up, and values overlapping the higher. I'm not thrilled about the fact that we went out of yesterday's high in B, C, and D and came back into it all three times. You know, a lot of times we battle the previous day's high or low, and if you finally fail to get accepted above it, well, your ultimate destination is the bottom of yesterday's range. But it was early in the day. All the indices were very strong. We're one-time framing up, and value was overlapping to higher, so I was more than comfortable being long. F period, escape with my life. So we made new highs down in D, E, F, and each time came right back. When F took out E's low, I got short. Figured we'd get a pullback. I was looking for maybe an early afternoon pullback low in F period. It's the earliest time frame you can get it. Got right to yesterday's high, started going back up. For whatever reason, I got out of the trade, and it was the right thing to do because we shot right back up. So I saved myself some pain. H period turned out to be a touchdown, and this is why. G period shot up, made a new high, and immediately came in, and I didn't do anything. So now we're six wide. We're forming a P shape at the time. I'm like, well, if I get the opportunity to do it again, this time I'm getting on board. And H period gave me that opportunity. It popped. I shorted it, decent size on the puts, and it basically immediately shot in. So I was in the money early. I was able to ride it down, start scaling it out. That turned out to be my best trade of the day. Well, actually, that and my next two were very good, but this was a very good one. I actually covered and went long in H, scalped it a little bit, and then again, I'm looking for an afternoon pullback low. We're 8 wide. We have higher value and a P shape. So putting all that market-generated information together, makes me very comfortable to go long if I takes out H's low. There's no guarantees or anything. Everything is odds, right? There's no guarantee. But what I just told you, higher value, 8 wide, P-shaped forming. Now, if we started really ripping lower and the P-shape goes away and we're well accepted into yesterday's range, well, then obviously I'm wrong. But it turned out it was a really nice trade because it took out H's low, got long, and then did a dance for a while, up and down, and I took it off, put it on, took it off, kept putting it on, and I kept it. And I even kept it when J opened, added on again. Couldn't even, right? Never got near eyes low. Very comfortable now with higher value. 9 wide. Started taking it off, and then I took some off at POC. And I had small by this time. But still, it's nice to hold them because these things are moving dollars. And even on 5 and 10 contracts, you're making a lot. And I took the balance off at FSI. So it turned out to be a really nice trade. So the short in H and the long in I that I held basically through I, J, and K were very nice trades. And I didn't do anything in L&M. It was a good day. There's no way I'm blowing it in M period. No way. All right. Destinations for tomorrow. So for the upside, all we have is this high from today where we blew out H's high with a price probe, 262.80. Then we don't have anything to 271.08. So there is still a vacuum on the upside. Big vacuum. And then above that, we don't have anything to 280.74, which is an afternoon rally high from March 11th. So we really don't have much for $10 to $18 to the upside. For the downside, we have the price probe, which is H's high of 259.36. Then we have 11 wide. Now, that's another thing. We were never able to raise the POC, even with this huge move in M period. POC stayed E's low. So, and the reason it looks like it's higher than that, because again, I'm in 20-somewhat tick increments. The POC is E's low, which is 257.27 at 11 wide. Then we have our afternoon pullback low in I period of 254.82, and then today's low of 249.05, and yesterday's low of 239.75. Now let's go to the charts and talk about what I think is kind of interesting. Okay, so monthly. We haven't looked at the monthly. Monthly has really rallied from its lows of 218 up to 262 today, a $42 rally. $42 rally, basically in 3 days. Pretty impressive, okay? We're going to see what happens if we ever get up to the trend line. That's at 274 right now. Well, firmly back inside of 2018's lows. So now, but we are still one time framing down 2 months. Here's the one that's going to be very interesting for me tomorrow. We took out last week's high of 256.90. And it didn't dawn on me till later today. If we close above 256.90 tomorrow, we're going to have an outside week up. So after stopping the one-time framing down for 4 weeks, I'm calling it down to balance for now. But if we close above 256.90, we have an outside week up in a bear market. Very, very weird and I guess impressive, right? I guess, if I was to go back to 08, 09 and whatever other, times we've had these kind of moves, again, bear market rallies are violent. They're violent. And that's what we've seen the last 3 days. But I've never really, I wasn't, the last time we had a bear market, I didn't trade, I had left the floor in 07. I was relaxing. I didn't trade in 08, 09. So I didn't see, I was investing more than, I certainly wasn't trading at that time period. So there's a possibility. I'm sure we did have outside week ups during bear markets, but it just struck me as very interesting. So that's something to keep an eye on tomorrow. And then the daily, well, we started saying on Monday morning, the bulls had to start taking baby steps, right? The last leg down really got rejected, a one-day move down. Had that huge gap, which we never came to revisiting. We're in balance, in this small balance. We took that out yesterday, those two highs, and then these two highs, even though we closed off it, right? Top of a 7-day balance, kind of failed late yesterday. But today we get through it and close above it in pretty good fashion. So right now, my daily, to me, is up, right? I've gone from balance to up because we've taken out this 7-day balance to the upside, one time framing up 3 days. So that's very impressive. Volume today, 253 million, so we'll end up doing 265 maybe. It's going to be below average, but still very good. But that's going to be 2 out of 3 days on this up move that we are below average. But it's still very, very good. It's not like we're doing 90 or 100 million on these moves. These are still very good volume days. And I would think probably tomorrow, I mean, I don't know, this thing's taking its time, that the SPY and the S&P should get very close to crossing their little death cross from the 50 over the 200. It'll be interesting to see. Tuesday's the end of the quarter, and there's still a lot of rebalancing money that's out there that never got done on expiration day because of what was going on. They postponed it to Tuesday. I don't know if any of this rally at the end of the day was some of that, or again, it was just short covering. I don't know. I don't try to guess M period. It's too much of a guess, so I don't try to figure it out. It doesn't make much sense to me at times. But a very good day again for the bulls. Be interesting to see if we can close above 256.90 to have an outside week up. I hope you guys and gals all had a great day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.